Hi. So today we have a lot to talk about. Trump, Ukraine, impeachment, Biden, and his son Hunter. So I'll try to make this short and sweet. Hunter Biden is Joe Biden's son. Hunter Biden is kicked out of the Navy. I don't know if he used cocaine, they found cocaine, something to do with cocaine. So Hunter Biden's kicked out of the military. 4 months later, he's hired by an oil and gas firm in the Ukraine at a salary of $50,000 per month. Hunter Biden knows nothing about the oil and gas industry, to my knowledge, or finance, or really has no value to this company whatsoever, except for the fact that he happens to be the son of the vice president of the U.S. So, Ukraine has a corruption investigation into the company on whose board Hunter Biden sits. And Joe Biden is headed to Ukraine. As a matter of fact, is in a meeting in Ukraine. And I'm not relying on anybody other than Joe Biden in the telling of the story, because Joe Biden himself, in a speech in 2018, describes his trip to Ukraine in this way. He says, we're about to step out and announce the billion-dollar aid that America is going to be giving to Ukraine. And I'd tell the Ukrainians, hey, hold up, fellas, we're not going out there unless you fire this prosecutor that is looking into corruption. And I believe specifically at the company where his son was on the board of directors, unless this prosecutor is fired within 6 hours, because Joe Biden is leaving in 6 hours, unless the prosecutor is fired within 6 hours, Joe Biden tells Ukraine they will not get the aid that has been promised, and Joe Biden will be jetting off. Ukraine fires the prosecutor, and 4 years later, Joe Biden cackles about it on stage as he boasts about his influence and how he was able to affect the internal dealings within the state of government of Ukraine. Fast forward, and here we are today, where President Trump has a conversation with Ukraine and says, admittedly so, some shenanigans happened in Ukraine. Would you fellas look into it? And the Ukrainians apparently say yes. Now, whether Trump threatened to withhold $400 million in aid to Ukraine or not, is, I guess, a question being disputed at this point. But even if Trump said or made the aid contingent upon the investigation, why is it an impeachable offense for the president of the U.S. to investigate the corruption within government? If there is corruption and the president asks another country to investigate it, how is that possibly an impeachable offense? The Democrats have truly gone insane. First, they believed wholeheartedly that Trump was an agent of Russia based on no evidence whatsoever. They claimed they saw evidence. They claimed they'd seen evidence. They claimed there was evidence we couldn't see, but that there was evidence that proved Trump was a Russian agent. People to this day believe that Trump is and was a Russian agent, despite the fact that there's no evidence for this whatsoever. But if you claim that there's no evidence, well, I guess you're called a denier, a racist, a fascist, a nationalist. Did I mention racist? So they tried the Russia routine, and even though from early days it was evident that there was no there, they pursued it for 2 years to the point of humiliating a broken old man, as it turns out, Robert Mueller, who I really have no sympathy for reasons that we can discuss at length in another video unrelated to his efforts to unseat Trump. They resorted to even having Robert Mueller exposed as incompetent publicly in an effort to find some shred with which to get rid of Donald Trump. Then there was the racist claim, which has really been going on for many years now. And now they're saying that Trump's request that corruption be investigated by a foreign government is an impeachable offense. They claim that there's a whistleblower who wasn't on the call, and I believe didn't even hear the call himself, yet believes that something dramatic transpired, and we're off to the races once again. Nancy Pelosi unwillingly dragged along by the gang of 4 horsemen, and at least for the entertainment value, this is going to be spectacular. Have fun out there.